A few weeks ago when Apple released the new iPhone, I shared that I was not super happy about some of the changes they made because they took away my headphone jack. And as a musician, as somebody who owns a pair of quite expensive, custom molded, wired headphones, that little jack is kind of important to me. It allows me to use these headphones on my phone, on my Mac, on my MacBook, in a number of different places, and I didn't want to give that up. So a photographer friend of mine was giving me some lighthearted grief about it because that wasn't important to him. The headphone jack didn't really matter. He had Bluetooth headphones, and he didn't care about that. Well, last week, Apple released a new MacBook Pro that has no SD card slot on the side. So for a photographer like my friend, you can no longer pull the little card out of your camera and stick it in your computer and transfer files that way. So he sent me a note saying, okay, well, I think I'm in the same position you were because this port is important to me and it's gone. And that's a good reminder that there are lots of things that I care about that other people don't care about. And there's lots of things that I don't care about that other people do. And it can be easy to assume that the things that we think are important actually are, and the things we don't think are important aren't important. And yet that's super subjective, right? The things I think are important to me. And just because they're not important to you doesn't make them not important to me, but just because they're important to me doesn't mean they're really important. They're important to me. So whether you and I care about the same things or agree on the same things or not, that's not super important to me, because what matters to me is that I like to be around people who care. I like to be around people who are interested in something. There's something they care about, and they have an argument to make. Apathy to me is far worse than disagreement. I would much rather go round and round, hopefully in a thoughtful and respectful way, with somebody who disagrees with me than to be paired up with somebody who just doesn't care. I think disagreement is so valuable when we can have thoughtful discourse around the things we care about. Because I'm going to learn something about you and you're going to learn something about me, and whether we ever end up agreeing on the things we're arguing about doesn't really matter. But if we can have thoughtful discourse, we get to learn something about one another, and we get to have a broader perspective about how the people around us see the world. And I think that's super valuable. So I'm not a fan of apathy at all. Apathy drives me crazy. But I am a fan of disagreement. Well, disagreement that's done well.